Great to be catching up with Andrew Partridge again from Michell Wool. How are you going, Andrew?
G'day, Ricky. How you going?
Good, thanks. Look, before we talk about the markets, there's a big event coming up in Bendigo. You've got a stand there for Michell Wool, I gather.
Yeah, so Bendigo Sheep Show. I believe it's the biggest in Australia. So, a lot of representation for the wool industry there and the sheep industry, obviously. Starting next Friday. Be there or be square, I think, Ricky. It's certainly going to be a big attraction. They've got feature breeds, they've got classing, they've got shearing competitions, shed hand competitions. There's everything to do with sheep and wool and dogs and all that sort of stuff around this sort of sheep farming is the place to be.
So next week when we're talking to you, we might be talking to you live from the floor of the Bendigo Sheep Show.
Yes, mate. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll have a team there. David Michell, our managing director, is going to be attending Bendigo, so we're going to have a big crew there for sure. Yeah, if anyone's thinking of going to the show, come and check us out.
And maybe we could add a comedy element to the wool segment. You might have a bit of help there on the stand at the time.
There's a little bit of a whisper, Ricky. Billy Brownless actually went to school with one of our local wool reps in Bendigo, and I've heard a little whisper he's going to be sitting on our stand at some part of the day. I believe he's doing a talk at Katrina Roundtree's dinner. I think she's holding a dinner or something, or something to do with the fashion side of things.
There's a bit of a fashion show on. I know Billy loves his fashion, so he'll have a few things to say.
Between you and me, he's told the wool rep he doesn't know anything about sheep and wool, so what's he going to say? I didn't repeat that.
No, not a problem. Hey, let's look at what's been happening in the market this week. Well, I think this is our first, our opening sales for the financial year, and a bit of red across the board.
Yes, mate. Yeah, so we've got this bit of extra supply coming on. The Chinese have sort of ran it up, the last couple of weeks. Obviously, we've had good increases, and now it seems to be handing a bit of that back to the market. And unfortunately, with the oversupply coming in, or a bit more supply coming in, the 62,000 bales coming up next week. It's a big number, and it's sent a bit of a shock through the market. And obviously, demand and supply, that's how commodities work, and now we've got an oversupply situation, and demand can't keep up to it, so we're looking at a bit of a down market.
It's a phenomenal number, 62. We've been talking here with Michell Wool for a few years now on the Country Viewpoint on Fridays, and gee whiz, 62. They have to redraw the graph. It only goes up to 50 usually.
Yes, correct, mate. Yeah, so we just sort of bubble along, don't we, in that sort of 50, in the 30 to 50 range, so smacked it up to 60-odd thousand bales, and of course, the way, as we've just discussed, the nature of the market, and unfortunately there is no regulation in this wool market as far as supply goes. We don't hit ceilings, we don't hit caps, and when we get a bit of an oversupply like this, it can have obviously a negative effect.
And we see the pass-in rates usually, they wobble around the place as well. Could we see a massive pass-in off the back of that huge offering?
Good question. Yeah, while the market was sort of going up and down there a few weeks back, there was a bit of resistance there because there was anticipation that the market might have got dearer when they had those smaller offerings. You remember there a couple of weeks ago. Now we've got the larger offerings. We've got new financial year. Unfortunately, I actually believe growers probably will sell into this down market, which would be a bit unfortunate because now we'll have that sort of rolling down the hill sort of effect. So. I actually predict probably pass-in rates won't be as high as what they should be.
Which is interesting. When we talked before the end of financial year, you were suggesting there might have been some farmers that were just trying to clear out a bit for that previous financial year. They've done pretty well out of that if they went that way.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, look, it's all not doom and gloom, of course. 20-hour market indicator was down 30 cents last week, and it had a look at 1,500 clean 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's back to 1,400, a bit over 1,400 now. Now, historically, 1,400 clean for a 20-hour micron, that's a pretty handy price. Looking at 18 microns, 18 microns have come back to sort of 21, 2,200 clean. They got to 22-something, price, so not historically still pretty handy prices.
Yeah, that 62-odd thousand bales you mentioned, or just looking at some data here in front of me, it's not unprecedented. It did happen apparently week 36 of the 2019-20 season.
Yeah, there you go. It's a couple of years ago.
So we're getting back to that sort of spike again, but we'll see what that does in our market report next week. We'll talk to you from Bendigo.
Good on you. Thanks, Ricky.